Governor Walz, I wanted to first ask you. Previously in 2020, Kamala Harris had said that she was anti-fracking. Now she's saying that she's not. Now I wanted to really ask, does this mean there's going to be absolutely no restrictions or limitations to fracking going forward? And if there's not, then, doesn't that kind of compete with the renewable energy focus of your campaign?
Yeah, look, 4 years ago, she made it clear, and 4 weeks ago at the debate, she made it clear. We're producing more natural gas and more oil and more energy in particular than any time in American history. We're going to continue to be a major producer of energy. We're going to continue to pursue an all of the above energy policy. Certainly, Pennsylvania is a big key on that, a big piece of it. And of course, she's showing that because now, as vice president, we are delivering that energy. So we continue to do so. It's good news. I see it across the country. I saw, gas prices under, 279 over in Wisconsin yesterday. We're still seeing them coming down.
Another focus of your campaign was to reduce the financial burdens and obstacles for proper health care. Now,
Yes.
in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, we have a lot of rural communities that have not only financial struggles, but also geographical ones. So is the campaign going to be addressing or focusing on how to reduce those geographical limitations to proper access to health care?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a spectacular question. And I say this as a governor of a state, a large state with large rural area. This is a key issue. The closing of a rural hospital is catastrophic. It's catastrophic for access to healthcare. It's catastrophic economically. And Kamala has proposed a 10,000 workforce to make sure that we're helping get those folks out there, get them into the communities. And then this idea that critical access hospitals and other critical hospitals, making sure the reimbursement rates work for them. I can tell you this, and you hit on this. We have ambulance deserts across Minnesota and across rural America where we need to make sure we're incentivizing. States are trying to tackle this, but Vice President proposed making sure that rural healthcare is a priority. That, coupled with protecting the ACA and expanding Medicare to have in-home care, vision, and hearing for our seniors, it will be the most transformational move since the ACA, and it will strengthen that. So your question is exactly right. In greater parts of rural America, protecting the healthcare system, protecting your local schools, protecting the infrastructure, expanding broadband, all things that Kamala Harris has already done under the Inflation Reduction Act and infrastructure law, and will continue to do so.
Gotcha. Another big issue, I guess, in our specific area is one of the only major ways that counties can raise revenues through property taxes. And in Lackawanna County specifically, there's a proposal to raise property taxes by 33% going into 2025, which is a huge burden on a lot of homeowners in Lackawanna County. So my question to you is there any way that the federal government can kind of help these counties reduce their expenditures so that they don't have to put that burden on taxpayers?
Absolutely. And we again, I experienced this as governor. I'll tell you one of the expenditures, when you look at your county expenditures, it's on education, which is critically important. That's our future. Making sure that the federal government lives up to its responsibilities, whether it's the cross subsidy on special education, that we live up to that, or that we're fully funding. Kamala has committed to commitments to universal pre-K, making sure we expand those, protecting things like Head Start, because if those things are not funded by the federal government, these are things that communities absolutely have to do. And local folks are more than happy to do that. But when you have smaller communities, it's just economy of scale. You can't afford to do it. And to continue to force it back on homeowners, as you're right, it makes it unlivable on that. So I think the federal government's commitment to this on education, on local infrastructure, again, I would say the infrastructure law. How does a small community replace a water treatment plant when it ages out? They can't without having this federal help. That's why these programs make a difference. Because I agree with you. I think one of the most difficult things on families is when property taxes go up to maintain basic services, whether it's the police, the schools, the hospitals. Vice President Harris has made it clear that our rural agenda funds those very things.
In terms of the limited amount of time you have left for the campaign, are you or Harris or even Biden going to be coming to northeastern Pennsylvania before or on Election Day?
I'll be with you Friday night, right in your neck of the woods. So
I'm actually going to be there at the rally too. So
I'll keep coming back. And I would just say, Adi, as we're closing out today, we saw the last 24 hours, this campaign shifted a lot. John Kelly coming out and making it clear that Donald Trump has talked about praising Adolf Hitler's generals, said that he's done some things that are good, telling us that we're the enemy within, using the military against us. I would ask folks, you don't have to agree with every policy, but Kamala Harris has made it clear, and through her entire life, myself included, I served 24 years in the Army. There is nothing Adolf Hitler did that was good. And having American generals closest to Donald Trump question his fitness for office is really something I hope folks are taking into consideration.